Hello, gladiators, and welcome back to another episode of the life and suffering of Sir Brante. Previously, on the last episode, we were able to give a small insight to Octavia Melanodas through our experience in death. It didn't seem to help her much, but we were able to get back a little bit of willpower and continue on. Continuing on, we made a decision on the case with Dorius Otten. We've got the trust of the public on our side. We've got quite a bit of power and justice. Hopefully we'll be able to take things slow and not draw too much attention to ourselves and just keep it under wraps for now, as much as we can. Because Father is right. There is no reason to risk our well-being and the well-being of our friends and family like this. This way you will not antagonize the aristocracy with no noble human... Oh no, wait, go back. This way you'll not antagonize the aristocracy with no noble human or Archnean perceiving you as a threat. Your career will be secure and it may even flourish. You will refrain from pursuing Otten for now and commit only the minimum effort necessary to this case. Without leaving your office, you draw up a detailed list of Otten's potential transgressions and indicate that acquiring credible evidence for these crimes is currently impossible. The Legion officers who have fallen victim to Otten's sword are unlikely to speak of the duels, anxious as they are to avoid getting challenged again. For many of them, another duel would be their last. The lack of formal complaints from the officers or their families makes inaction even easier. The officers met their death in the line of duty. What else is there to say? You add these conclusions to the thin folder against Otten, then file it away and move on to other cases. One day Prefect Elborn pays you a visit to see your progress firsthand. Are you saying you've learned nothing else of note, Brante? What a pity. The Legion soldiers are not the only ones who fear Commander Otten, it seems. I hoped you would be braver than your father, but this is understandable. A dangerous case like this is nothing but a hindrance to a promising career. A promising young judge who seeks to advance his career, is it not? Well then, it saddens me to say it, but so far we lack the evidence to have the commander indicted, especially since he is a highborn Archnean. But this is only the beginning. The situation could change at any time. I see you've put away Otten's case to focus on others. Quite sensible, seeing as we have no alternative right now. Listen, dude, my only other option was death. That's number 3 for me, and I'd like to hold out the option for death in number 4 in part 4. If we want to have any chance of getting him indicted in court, we need to make the nobles in the province recognize duels as acts of murder. This means defying a tradition of old, a road perilous and seldom traveled. It means enforcing the rule of law over the Anazat gentry. For now, Sir Brante, return to your other duties and pay particular attention to any dueling incidents. We will take our next step against Sir Otten when the time is right. At the end of the day, you run into your father on the way out of the office. As you go down the winding staircase leading to the exit, he gives you a quick hug when no one is looking. I spoke with Elborn, Roman. He's disappointed in you, but don't take it personally. You chose to avoid the ire of people more powerful than us. You did the right thing. It's much easier for Elborn to get involved in something like this. He's a baron and a noble of the sword. An Archnean's word won't be enough to have him executed. You, on the other hand, don't have that privilege. You can't bring any hope or justice to this world if you're dead. This case, it's much more serious than it may seem. Even Sir Otten, highborn Archnean though he is just a pawn in a much larger game. The Brante family would do well to stay off the board entirely. Alright, career's back from the brink. Our willpower, we are ready for action. I feel like there's going to be some part in the story where we're going to have to spend like 15 willpower at a time, and we just won't be ready for it, and it'll be damning. So I'm going to try and focus on bringing up willpower, and maybe maxing out Stefan's Gambit. You've hardly found any time for family matters this year. The events taking place in the city keep you busy at all hours. Tonight you come home extremely late, but the fireplace in the sitting room is lit. By the fire, you see Stefan with a glass of wine. Your elder brother has been waiting for you. You take a seat in the chair by Stefan's side. Your brother keeps turning his glass with his long fingers. Roman, we need to have a talk about Gloria. She flatly refuses to behave as she ought to. Her antics are ruining our family's reputation. If this situation persists, nobility of the sword will be out of the question. Brother, I do not wish her ill, but we have no right to sit idly by. Regrettably, Gloria will never truly be a part of the Brante family. Her origins are too tarnished, so it is our duty to find her a new family. It's high time Gloria got married. But we can't just give our sister to a commoner, can we? And how could any noble wed her, knowing her origins? It's been a stumbling block for a long time, but I've found a suitable match for her. Oh, it's this guy again! His name is Jose El Pelletier. He is a young nobleman of the sword, recently graduated from the college, and now he has a position at the city hall. Do you recall a reception several years ago where he couldn't take his eyes off Gloria? Pelletier has been obsessed with her ever since. Not even her lowly origins can deter him. Admittedly, Gloria does not reciprocate his affection just yet. So let us convince Gloria that becoming Sir El Pelletier's bride is her chance to escape her current situation. And let us pray she comes to her senses and puts her rebellious ways behind her. I don't think I've built up my relationship with her that much yet. Isn't this an ideal situation? After marrying El Pelletier, Gloria will be a noblewoman herself. We'll be granting her the freedom she's craved since she was a girl, and then she can write poetry and do whatever else takes her fancy. I will enter into negotiations with the El Pelletier family. Rumor has it, Jose's father already has a future wife in mind for him, the daughter of an important chancellery official. But Jose's passion must win out in the end, don't you agree? As for you, Roman, please help me with Gloria. You're closest with her. You can make her see how beneficial this match will be. She must fulfill her duty to the family that took her in, after all. Stefan looks at you expectantly. You're at a crossroads. Will you accept your brother's plan or refuse him? Will this marriage be a blessing? And for whom? Okay, so this is an arranged marriage. It seems like from the wording, this wouldn't be, hey, go out on some dates with the guy. You know, maybe you don't like him, but it'll grant you freedom in other aspects of your life. But no, this seems to be, it'll happen no matter what. I'm sorry, Stefan, but I can't go through with that. And now we have burned that bridge with Stefan. We have slowly but surely burned all the goodwill we had with him. Your words slice through the silence of the sleeping house. You disagree with Stefan and will not participate in his plots against your sister. Stefan does not say anything, but his grip on the glass tightens. Finally, you hear the sound of breaking glass and glimmering shards fall to the floor. Stefan pensively contemplates the blood running down his palm. Pity. What a pity, our grandfather. Sir Gregor is no longer with us. He would make both you and Gloria see reason. Neither of you is capable of grasping what family and blood mean. So I suppose I must bear this burden alone. Stefan leaves the room. You are left alone in front of the dying fire. After your conversation last night, Stefan mostly stays silent and treats Gloria with pointed courtesy. The family breathes a collective sigh of relief. Could the feud between Stefan and Gloria finally be over? You are the only one who is aware of the scheme your brother is concocting. Your home is quiet tonight. Father is away, arbitrating disputes in Mogren villages. Stefan is visiting one of his high-placed patrons. After a dinner spent in silence, everyone retreats to their chambers. You are about to retire for the night when Gloria calls out to you. Oh, Roman, wait a minute. I have an important favor to ask you. Your sister leads you to her longtime refuge, the library. Here in the shadows, between the bookcases, you will not be overheard. Brother, I wish to speak with you before Stefan returns. His scheming is becoming unbearable. It's beyond Sir Robert's power to stop him, let alone Mother or Nathan. You're my only hope. You shrug. All families argue from time to time, but every quarrel has to end sooner or later. Yes, it will end. When Stefan finally gets rid of me. As far as he's concerned, I'm just a stumbling block and a stain on his father's good name. He lets me stay in the house only to avoid causing a scandal in high society, but as soon as the Brantes get his precious nobility of the sword, I'll be out on the street in the blink of an eye. Roman, you don't want for me to get kicked out of the family, do you? Please help me. I need to convince Sir Robert to adopt me and make me legitimate. After that, it won't be so easy for Stefan to dispose of me, and then I won't bear the stigma of being a bastard anymore. I know Sir Robert would agree, if only by virtue of the love he has for our mother, but Stefan is standing in his way. Tell me, will you help me? An illegitimate child who has never known her father, a stranger in the family. Gloria looks at you with hopeful and pleading eyes. Okay. Okay. This is a hard choice. I wish I could just tell her about Stefans' plot. Just see if she would agree to it, just by function of if she might want the freedom, even if, Jose El Pelletier's kind of a creep. But we don't have that option. The only option is to help Gloria in the secret plot, or to refuse it. This doesn't feel like our place yet. With so many things going on, trying to change the lot of the commoners for better, as it stands, it feels like I shouldn't get involved in this. I don't know why. Something about this just makes it not quite seem where I should go, but she's my sister. She deserves to be treated as such. I'll help you, Gloria. You give Gloria a firm embrace. Ever since you were children, she has always been by your side. The two of you may have different fathers, but she is your sister, and she must remain a member of this family. It is your duty to come to aid her. You will make sure Gloria becomes a Brante. Gloria lets out a sigh of relief and hugs you back. It makes me so happy to know you're on my side. You wait for Stefan to come home. Your brother returns from his visit mirthful and in high spirits. This is the perfect moment to have a talk. That went splendidly, brother. Magistrate El Vermin himself will support us. I'm on a friendly footing with his son now. It won't be long before we become nobles of the sword. But why are you still up? You raised the matter of your sister. The feud between Stefan and Gloria must end. Your brother seems to be unaware of how much damage it is inflicting on the family. But you know how to remedy it. The reason for everything is Gloria's lowly station. She should bear the Brante name. Your brother assumes a bored mien. Don't waste your time, brother. I know what Gloria is after. You mentioned damage to the family. Can you even fathom what this would mean for the Brante name? By allowing an illegitimate child into his family, our father would cover us all with an indelible shame. Several generations of Brantes to come would not even dare to dream of becoming nobles of the sword. By the twin gods, I will not let that happen. You attempt to point out to Stefan that Gloria's desperate situation is leading her to more and more audacious escapades. If your sister becomes a member of this family, she'll stop. Believe me, Roman, I want to see Gloria at peace as much as you do, but not at the cost of our entire family's future. Absolutely not. I have a different idea for Gloria, and I'm sure the solution will satisfy everyone involved. Good night. You let your sister know of Stefan's vehement denial. Gloria is so vexed she is shaken. So he wouldn't even hear us out? Is that it? He's willing to do anything just to drive me out, isn't he? Roman, we need to think of something. Gloria will continue her battle for the right to stay with the family, and you have promised to help her. The sun is setting on a cold, windy day as you return from the prefecture. To your surprise, a messenger awaits you at the door with an urgent letter from Sir Elborn. You open the letter. Brante, there is an urgent case that I must entrust to you. We have just received a report of a secret society formed by young nobles. The Archduke's family may be involved. This concerns me. I suspect a possible plot to depose Overseer Tempest. Normally, the Secret Chancellery handles all such cases, but I'd rather investigate the rumors of the plot before there is any action. Preventing unnecessary bloodshed and disgrace would be prudent. You are to investigate this matter as soon as possible. The gendarmes tracked down a suspicious nobleman by the name of Alexis Alance. Based on his confession, a meeting of the society will be held tonight. Unfortunately, this is all we were able to learn from him. The Alance family is of too high standing for more thorough questioning. Fortunately, all members of the secret society wear masks when attending meetings. We have acquired Alance's personal mask and will ensure that he is late to the meeting. You should be able to impersonate him quite easily. You are to attend the meeting tonight and learn as much as possible about this secret society. This will allow us to foil a dangerous plot, or save many young people from the secret chancellery. This letter includes a delicate gilded mask of intricate workmanship. Fortunately, it fits your face perfectly. It seems your plans for tonight have changed. Following the prefect's instructions, so I'm just going into this secret meeting with young nobles who assumedly have swords available to them, and I feel like would not be, if their secret society came out, would not be above murder. Following the prefect's instructions, you come at the appointed hour to an inconspicuous mansion on the edge of Anazat, with a spacious yard and a tall fence around it. The gatekeepers bow and open the gate as soon as they see you. It seems the mask is enough to convince them you belong inside. Inside the yard, you see noble carriages, many more than you had expected. You are ushered into a dressing room of sorts. A change of clothes already awaits you inside. It is a curious garb, a square of flowing, sparkling cloth with clasps and cords to keep it from unwrapping. You've never seen anything like it. With this strange robe and the gilded mask over your normal clothes and face, you cannot help but feel rather silly. This attire feels positively unsuitable for any kind of plotting or scheming. Next, you proceed to a large room. The windows are covered in black cloth to keep prying eyes away, but you forget about it moments later. What seems to be a strange performance is playing out before your very eyes. You hear droning, unfamiliar music coming seemingly from nowhere. You see candlelight dancing and glimmering. Ribbons of gold and silver are hung along the walls as decorations. And there are people, many people, like you. They are dressed in flowing robes and delicate gilded masks with narrow slits for eyes. The people are talking. They stand unexpectedly close to one another, their hands on each other's shoulders. You approach one of the groups, hoping to overhear the subject of their conversation, but you almost recoil when several arms reach out at once, attempting to grasp you tenderly by the shoulder. Steeling yourself, you put a hand on another person's forearm. The masked people seem friendly and genial. No one appears surprised by your insecurity. And their conversations are also quite out of the ordinary. You hear unfamiliar names that could belong to legendary heroes of old or to the people here who have taken them as secret identities. You hear mentions of books you do not know and emotions they felt while reading them. Their conversations feel like a strange dream. You hear several voices singing in a far-off corner of the room. There are no lyrics to the song. Each voice maintains its own note. Together, these voices form a tender, softly aching melody. It feels enrapturing. It spirits you away. You feel so distant from the purpose of your visit, so withdrawn from the judge's trade, so far away from the empire and from your very self. A hand touches your shoulder, bringing you back to your senses. A pair of familiar eyes look at you intently from behind a glinting greenish-silver mask. They belong to Octavia. You pull back and bow to the Archduke's daughter. I believe I recognize the man behind this mask. I never expected to see you here today, my extraordinary human. But I must behave here. You'd best do the same. We're not alone. It would be best if we are not seen too close to one another. As for this place, Sir Brante, allow me to explain. This is my circle of Latari. And before you ask, no, we do not plot, nor do we scheme. We have removed ourselves, as far as possible, from such machinations. This place is a little world of our own, a brief respite from tradition and noble customs, and other such fuss. Our gathering is but a pretense, a game of make-believe. We pretend we are neither nobles, nor citizens of the Blessed Empire, nor humans, nor Arcanians, but the Latari. Do you know what this word means? I would not be surprised if you have never heard of the Latari. These days, the people of Latari are mentioned only in rare historical works. Long before us, in an age when this land was fertile and green, the Latari lived upon the land that would become Magra. They were masters of a remarkable art. They could create worlds from nothing but their conscious minds. Many of these people came here for simple entertainment and a brief taste of freedom. Others seek a respite from the binding customs of the noble lot. Still others feel encumbered by their blood ties and ancestral obligations. Only here are we fully free from the burden of our past and our present. Yet, some among us seek more than brief moments of freedom. They are drawn here by a fascination with the Latari, and their idea that our existence can be shaped by the mind alone. We strive to know the Latari people for ourselves. We strive to continue their teachings. We strive to become them. If we happen to master the art of shaping worlds from our own minds, we may yet break free of the trap that is this harsh existence. Surprised by this, you ask her why she is telling you this so openly. She knows that the rituals of extinct races are held in the same regard as magic, and punishable as such. In response to your question, Octavia suddenly takes off her golden mask, and reveals a slight smile on her once hidden face. May your voice ne'er speak words of deceit. To great shame lies the path of untruth. Where an Arcanian lies, where a human denies, the Latari speak truly forsooth. I'm not afraid. The truth of the Latari matters more to me than any persecution. You came here in secret and wearing a mask, which means the prefecture has taken an interest in my little gatherings. But I am confident you will describe this as an innocent club of young nobles and keep our fragile world from prying eyes and ears. Would you do this for me, Roman? These words spoken by Octavia sound more like an assertion than a question, but you are in no hurry to respond. Your thoughts are tangled, lost among the echoing voices, fluid motions, and transcendent music. This gathering is in violation of the law. This you cannot deny. All rituals of extinct races were banned at the foundation of the Empire. You may summon the gendarmes here at any moment. You need only give a sign to the driver, and when they get here, the circle of Latari will be gone in an instant. You will prove to this city not even the most noble of its denizens are above the law. But Octavia will never forgive you. You could, on the other hand, keep the circle of Latari a secret from Elborn and report this meeting as a harmless gathering of young nobles looking for an opportunity to socialize. But if the secret chancellery ever takes interest in these meetings, you will be powerless. Someone has already reported Octavia's circle to the prefecture. There is a very good chance these reports will continue. Perhaps if you tell Octavia of the danger she is facing, she will disband the circle herself. There is one more way you could resolve this predicament. With a piece of paper, some ink, and a bit of skill, the Circle of Latari could become a noble historic society, one of many dozen in Anazat alone. Legitimized by the city, Octavia's gatherings would remain a secret within this mansion. But do you have enough influence to make this possible? And would it be wise to expend it in this way? Say something, Roman. This is no time to be quiet. The great mystery of Latari is about to begin. Man, this just feels... Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh, for some reason I thought this was on a scale of 1 to 20, so when I saw that I just had 10, I was like, when did I lose half of it? So justice would go down within any of these. But if we legitimize the circle... we've got massive amounts of diplomacy. It would expend some willpower we've been working hard to bring up, but it would max us out on diplomacy, as well as bring wealth to the family. I think I'm going to do this one. You chuckle, shaking your head. How quaint. A group of nobles hiding from sight, wearing masks, studying the culture of a long-dead race. Has Lady Octavia never considered taking her historical studies a bit more seriously? Octavia's eyes narrow, trying to discern the meaning behind your words. There's a way to make the meetings of the circle fully legitimate, you continue. You have enough influence to get the papers they need and have them signed by the right people. Octavia's face lights up. She continues your half-finished thought right away. Indeed, my dear Sir Brante. Welcome to a meeting of our Imperial Historical Society. Surely you would be so kind as to procure us a proper plaque for the door? You nod. With a genial smile, Octavia extends her hand to you. You take it and kiss it gently. If only we were alone so I could show you the full extent of my gratitude. But the great mystery of the night is about to begin. You should leave us. You'll bring danger upon the circle if you're seen coming here again. You'd best get these papers prepared right away, kind Roman. The members of the circle are already gathering in the middle of the room, ready to begin their mysterious ritual. You feel dozens of eyes on you from behind the gilded masks. They will not begin until you leave the circle. Following Lady Octavia's suggestion, you change into your normal clothes and leave the mansion. The next day you report to Elborn and put his concerns to rest. This was no sign whatsoever of any noble plot. The group is nothing but a historical society run by several young nobles who meet to discuss the cultures of old. They simply lack legitimacy, but you can rectify that. This sounds suspicious, Brante. And the Archduke's daughter is involved? I hope you know what you're doing. Either way, I'm glad we didn't sick the gendarmes on them. I hope the secret chancellery and Sir Alfaro never learn of these reports. I doubt the advisor would be as tolerant of their youthful amusements. You assure the prefect that Lady Octavia's Historical Society will have all the permits they need to operate without arousing suspicion. And so the Anazat Historical Society for the Study of Ancient Peoples is founded. The City Hall wastes no time approving the necessary paperwork. Every official there knows that Judge Brante is a respectable gentleman with friends in high places, and your busy patrons pay no heed to the follies of young nobles. Octavia sends you her reward in the form of a letter. When you open the envelope to read it, a gilded key clinks into the floor. Roman, I am impressed by your abilities. You know how to use your connections and bring me joy. It pleases me to know I was right about you. A chest matching this key will be delivered to your estate tonight. Farewell, Roman. It will be some time before we meet again. I have much to do on my own. You cannot help but think of Octavia and those who followed her. They have dared to reject their nature, lot, and birth in an attempt to become something else entirely. But do they have what it takes to cast off the shackles of their existence, or are they nothing but madmen who yearn for the impossible? As for Octavia and her circle of Latari, you hear nothing of them for a long time. After that night, the Archduke's daughter seems to vanish from the social circles of Anazat. She has never been one to tell you about her plans. Your encounters with her have ended as abruptly as they had begun. So we needed to get, I think, wealth or reputation up to 7 to become nobles of the sword. But now we are master diplomats. Cool. But I think as we get this sneak peek, oh, it's been another year. Oh no. Time is going quick around here. But with this, I think this is where we'll end today's episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you all so much for watching. There will be a quick update. I'll be sure to mention this in the next video as well. It seems that this week we'll be taking a break from our Saturday uploads of We Were Here series. Unfortunately, just due to outside factors of life and scheduling, we won't be able to record them together for a good while. But once again, thank you all so much for watching. Also, the We Were Here series, there was a random spike in views. Thank you all so much. I'd love to see that you guys enjoyed that series because I love it. I love We Were Here. That is a fun game. But once again, thank you all so much for watching and have a good night.